Salut à tous et bienvenue dans StorySéries saison 2, épisode 18. Cette semaine, nous menons l'enquête sur le quotidien des comédiens qui jouent les équilibristes entre petit et grand écran. Si aujourd'hui, la frontière entre ces deux médiums n'existe presque plus, de grandes différences de méthode de travail demeurent. Pour s'adapter sans trop souffrir à l'accélération du rythme de tournage, au rapport très différent avec le réalisateur ou encore à la connexion plus ou moins intense avec les personnages, les comédiens doivent être de véritables caméléons.
What a man wouldn't do for love, ain't he?
Amen.
L'iconique Laura Dern, l'impressionnant Brian Cox ou encore la pétillante Dominique Fishback nous ont confié leurs petits secrets, mais aussi l'excellent Stephan James.
Save the best for last.
L'acteur le plus en vue du moment a commencé sa carrière à la télévision en 2010, passant de Degrassi à The et les complexes ou encore Shots Fired pour atterrir à quelques mois d'écart en tête d'affiche de deux beaux projets. Sur petit écran, il est la star de Homecoming, série paranoïaque et jouissive signée Sam Esmail, le créateur de Mr. Robot, tandis qu'il crève le grand écran dans Si Beale Street pouvait parler, le nouveau film de Barry Jenkins, oscarisé pour Moonlight en 2017. Rien que ça.
Don't seem to me like there's a reason to treat two Negroes so nicely.
Look, man, with me, it's pretty simple. I dig people who love each other.
Maybe first of all, just to understand how you work, what is your process as an actor, and knowing that you started on television, I guess you learned a different way to work, maybe work faster, get used to tons of directors, and suddenly cinema is a different rhythm.
Yeah, just different. You know, I mean, honestly, I started in theater in high school, and that's different than film altogether. So I feel like I've had an advantage, you know, doing sort of TV in Toronto and getting to know and feel comfortable with a bunch of different directors and understand sort of different directors and their process. You know, it's been sort of invaluable for me as an actor.
Do you feel it's a different process to get into the skin of a character for a movie like this one? You know when you start, you know when you finish. It's not like there might be a second season, or it's how it goes. Do you feel it's easier?
Sure. I mean, it's always helpful when you have a full grasp of the story and you understand the trajectory that your character is going through and the range, you know, that you have to sort of display as an actor. So, you know, for me, it's definitely helpful when you have a clear, concise beginning, middle, end, and you're able to sort of craft the performance around that.
So you feel like your process is quicker, more efficient, maybe less scary than getting into a TV show and thinking, what the hell is going to happen to my character?
Well, I mean, it's interesting, and the landscape of just film and television has changed so much. I mean, I did a series last year that was shot like a film, you know, 10 episodes, but I had read all 10 episodes, and we shot it all in order. So it really all depends. That just felt like a long movie.
Okay, Walter Cruz, 26 years old, 3 tours. You got here when, Friday?
Yeah, Friday.
Wonderful. So I am supposed to read you this welcome. And I warn you, it is very, very boring.
Okay.
Okay.
Starting your career on TV, has it made you look differently on television? Are you surprised to see what we do nowadays? From Homecoming to, I don't know, Sopranos, True Detective, whatever? Or did you feel it already?
You know, I didn't know, but TV has gone into this incredible space just in, like, the short time I've been acting. I mean, I don't know if you can call 10 years short, but, you know, TV is just really, I think it's really telling that it doesn't matter the platform that you're on. I think the story is the most important thing, regardless of platform. I mean, the benefits of doing TV is you can have, you know, a world that gets married to these characters and to this story, and they can live with them for weeks on end and binge them and fall in love with these characters and feel invested in these characters and in this story in a way that film doesn't really allow you to. You know, but the great thing about film is you know, for an actor, you get to do it so quickly.
Yeah.
And to sort of do all you can to get this character out and to move on to the next. It's a much more concise form of storytelling. So, I mean, to each his own. Really, I think the medium is irrelevant at this point.
I had never seen Fonny outside the world in which I moved. I had seen him with his father and his mother, and I had seen him with us. I had certainly never seen him in the world in which he moved.
You've never had a frustration, I mean, with such a character. The story is so beautifully told and the characters are so strong. You're not frustrated, you never think, if only there was a second episode, another, you know, if I could meet him again and be him again and be in his skin and be with those people again.
To me, I think it's the beginning. I plan to do like 100 more films with Barry, so to me, it's just the start.
I know that you're thinking of directing, and I was wondering what kind of observator you are to the director you work with. Lately, I mean, Barry has a very sophisticated, classy, elegant directing.
Right huh? Mama, Daddy, maybe even Ernestine, right? And the bed I put all the way back there, right against the wall. So I can see that pretty light on your face when the sun rises.
And Sam Esmail is very, sometimes weird and very complicated directing.
Oh no, it's fine. The staff has really been helpful, and we've got all the office stuff out of the way.
And the decor, tidy the vibe. I told them we want hip but masculine.
How do you watch them work? What questions do you ask?
I mean, I'm so grateful for both of those men because they really couldn't be any different as directors. But, you know, still very, very clear and concise in their visions. And I think the most important thing, you know, being a director is having a vision. I've had 10 years of professional acting experience, which has allowed me just incredible opportunities to see filmmakers that I love, to see how they act with not only actors, but how they act with all the members of the set that help, you know, help a movie get made. So to me, the most fascinating part is to see how the director acts with the wardrobe and how the director acts with set deck and the hair and makeup department, and understanding that you need all of those pieces and you need them all to be on the same page. So for me, you know, sitting back and observing, that's probably like one of the biggest, most important things I've learned.
All right, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Pour Stephan James, passer d'un écran à l'autre est une forme d'apprentissage accéléré pour devenir à son tour réalisateur. D'autres comédiens ont trouvé leur bonheur en pratiquant eux aussi les deux formats, à l'instar de Brian Cox, 56 ans de carrière et une lucidité à toute épreuve sur les forces et les faiblesses du cinéma face à la série.
Everything I've done in my life, I've done for my children. I know I've made mistakes, but I've always tried to do the best by them because I love them.
Is there one show that made you love television?
Oh, no, I've always been a lover of television. I mean, television now has reclaimed itself, particularly in the UK. It's second to none now. But in the 90s, it was all run by men in suits. It was all run by people who really didn't understand the creative process at all. Being a Scot, I'm very fiscally orientated, you know, so I just decided I'd rather earn money making crap films in the US than doing crap television in the UK. Yeah. So that propelled me to go to America. But I've always loved television. Television it's the long form. And I think television is now, in a way, much more the people's media than anything else.
Yes.
I want a broadcast network. I want to see what other news operations we can sweep up.
Local TV?
Dad, nobody watches TV.
Why shouldn't we do all the news?
Well, Kim Jong pop, because that's not how things work in this country.
Films is not available to audiences in the same way. It's much more corporate cinema.
Yes.
And it really is about the blockbuster. So you've got 5 cinemas in a multiplex, and 4 of them have got
Spider-Man.
The Avengers, the Spider-Man, what have you. They've all got that. And then this one cinema is struggling for all the other work. And it's very unfair. So it's a monopolized form. So cinema is being crushed into a corner, which is why the rise of Netflix, the rise of Amazon has given a kind of liberation to cinema. But I'm still the person who likes to sit in a darkened room watching a movie. I still love that. The community aspect of cinema.
Pour Laura Dern, la fracture qui se forme entre le cinéma et son public, dont parle Brian Cox, a un impact inattendu. Aujourd'hui, certains sujets et personnages n'existent plus que dans les séries. Une raison de plus pour elle de ne pas se cantonner au grand écran. Elle en a eu d'ailleurs la preuve l'an dernier avec la multi-récompensée Big Little Lies.
I'm getting very, very upset because someone is bullying you. And you never let a bully win. Do you hear me? You have to speak up, Amabella. You have to be a big girl and use your voice in this world. That's why they call me a bulldog, because I had to learn how to fight back with a bully.
But you said that as an actress, what you wish to do the most is to explore the taboos of women, which I find very brave, because this is not something people really want to see, if we're honest with each other. And this is something you do very clearly in Big Little Lies. With Renata, she's powerful and she scares people, but she's so fragile inside. Do you think that television is the place where you find those characters nowadays?
Yes, and American politics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are the only two places that I see it consistently. Women that are misunderstood and labeled incorrectly and unfairly, and so we must be advocates, right, for each other and for these characters, and give humanity to and kindness toward women's rage and sexuality and courage and humor. Something that French cinema has been very comfortable with for a very long time, which is why we actresses always say we want to move to France. Or I do, I know. I need to talk about it with someone who was there. Hello, Mrs. G. Let's get you up in the saddle, see what you can do. I only remember them. Why can't I remember myself?
You were an unusual child.
Strong body, strong mind.
Strong body, strong mind.
I found some pictures from that summer.
You're a very political activist person. Do you feel like those messages, because television is in our living rooms, it's in our daily lives, is a better way to have those kind of strong messages? Or do you feel like cinema and television treat them the same way?
Well, they have the same opportunity, but television seems to have far more access. But for a small independent film, you know, the filmmaker has a very small audience compared to what they can reach through cable television, which is why I think it's the Wild West for filmmakers to be working in cable television. They have more autonomy, a larger audience to reach, and usually more money, too, to tell the stories they want to tell. So it's a very exciting place to work.
Aujourd'hui, une nouvelle génération d'acteurs a appris son métier sans faire de distinction entre les deux médiums. C'est le cas de Dominique Fishback, révélé par les merveilleuses séries de David Simon, et à l'affiche de Long Way Home, qui sera sur nos écrans dans quelques jours.
I want to do something with my life, but every time I try, there's always something.
You're bitching the fuck up and you act like you're the only one alone.
She used to say that the cars in the night could sound like the ocean. I keep trying. Every time I close my eyes, all I see is you.
You want to come in?
The first time I saw you on screen, it was on The Deuce.
Yes.
And before that, you had done Show Me a Hero. And now, in Night Comes On, you're in every scene, which is very different from the experience of a TV show. So how did you feel making that switch? And did you have to prepare because you knew you're going to be everywhere all the time?
Yeah, actually, I think because I wanted to act since I was 10 years old, a little kid, I always imagined being on film and movies. So I think it wasn't really much of a change for me. I was excited for the opportunity to be in every scene, to be there every day, because that's ultimately what I want. I want to be on set all the time.
Yeah.
So with The Deuce, it's such a huge cast that, you know, if we're shooting from February to August, maybe I'm there like once or twice a week and they get all of my scenes in one day. So being there every day was really cool.
You sure you don't want to do nothing tonight, Louis? Nothing?
I like watching a movie with you as well.
You know I got a regular tonight.
I see that's one in the tank.
Those white girls are getting $50 more per day.
I suppose because it's an indie movie, you had a small amount of time and you had to go quick.
Yeah.
Do you feel like TV is a good preparation to make this kind of indie movie, make it quick and good and be efficient, or is it really completely different?
I actually think it is the same. I mean, the logistics aren't the same because HBO just has more money than an indie film.
Anybody.
When I'm like, let's say I'm used to like, oh, if it's a really heavy scene or I'm gonna be somewhere all day, at least I have a room to go back to relax. Sometimes when Night Comes On, it was just not available. There was no room. I called it like a acting boot camp.
Yes.
Night comes on because I was there every single day. Every day that the crew and the director was there, I had to be there.
Who you? That's my sister, dummy. So you don't want to adopt an Abby?
As soon as I get my situation straight, be the first thing I do.
StorySéries, c'est terminé. La semaine prochaine, on part à la conquête de Mars avec Beau Willy Mon, créateur de la sublime The First, pour parler de Sean Penn, de philosophie et du futur de l'humanité. Allez, à la semaine prochaine.